everybody. I hope you guys are already having a wonderful 2025. And the playoffs just got set. Here is the playoff picture. You can pause it to have more time. But today, I am going to predict who is going to win what. I'm going to give every single matchup honestly. And I'm going to start off with the NFC side, Minnesota Vikings versus Los Angeles Rams. The Minnesota Vikings just lost against the Detroit Lions 31-9. Yeah, they got their butt whooped, but they still are 14-3, which is still really, really good. Sam Darnold has exceeded expectations. Justin Jefferson has over 1,000 yards, and everything seems to be going well for the Minnesota Vikings, except for last week. They lost to the Detroit Lions, like I said, 31-9. Yeah. Even though the Lions are such a good team, I'm not really that worried about the Minnesota Vikings, but you never know. It could be bad, but hopefully things will turn around in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Rams, they are an interesting team. They've gotten injured a lot, but all their starters are in. We got Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyren Williams. This is a pretty stacked offense, but they haven't scored more than 20 points in the last 2 weeks. But they still somehow got wins. Yes, I know the quality of opponents suck, but win's a win, and they clinched the 4 seed. But I think that the Minnesota Vikings will take this win from the LA Rams. Just because I think the Vikings are a better team. That doesn't mean the Rams suck. They just will have a very tough opponent. But they have not been scoring a lot of points. I think they use it up against the Bills. That's my opinion. Sorry if you disagree. Now, next game. Next NFC matchup for the first round is the Washington Commanders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have home field advantage, but the first team I'll be talking about is the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, they have moved up from the 7th seed to the 6th seed because the Packers lost against the Bears, and they won against the Cowboys. Wow, Jaden Daniels is looking amazing. This offense is pretty underrated in my opinion, and I think some pretty good potential. And, wow, I was not expecting them to be in the playoffs this year. I knew Jaden Daniels was going to be good, but I wasn't expecting him to go this far. But the other team that they're playing against is the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, they just won against the Saints. They came back and won. The Falcons choked the lead against the Panthers in overtime, so they have gotten knocked out of the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers, they've been looking good. Mike Evans just broke a record with one consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. While this Buccaneers offense, if they can be good consistently from the first and second half, I think they're probably one of the best NFC teams that are like underrated and stuff. Baker Mayfield has redeemed himself from being off the Browns. It sucks because I am a Browns fan, but there is no way the Buccaneers win. I'm sorry, Buccaneers fans, but I think the Commanders will win. I think it'll be a close game, though. I don't think it'll go in the overtime, but it's going to be a close game. I have the Commanders on this, but sorry if you disagree. The next playoff matchup is the 7th seed Packers against the number 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles. The Packers, they lost to the Bears, and the Bears haven't won against the Packers since 2018, so that streak is broken. The Packers were a 7th seed last year and beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys fans are hoping that they can beat the Eagles. The Packers, I've been looking good. Jordan Love just got injured again, and Malik Willis had to start. So did Christian Watson. It sucks. Sucks for Packers fans. I understand that. Next team that the Packers are playing against is the Eagles. The Eagles are a 2 seed. They won their division by far. Commanders were doing good, but Eagles are doing way better. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts is hurt. That's kind of ironic. And Saquon Barkley could have broken the record, but he got benched. Probably the good thing since he probably didn't want to get hurt like the Packers did. But I think this is going to be a close matchup. I feel like the Packers, they're going to lose, but they're going to still look good. I say around in the 30s. But I may be wrong, but I think the Eagles will win. and Cowboys fans will not be happy. Same thing with Commanders fans. Since we got the NFC first half done, let's just go on to the semifinals, and let's just go Lions versus Commanders. So, the Lions, they just blew out the Minnesota Vikings 31-9. They have been putting belt to butt a lot this year. Their team has been looking good. Sad that their defense is like more injured than any other team combined, even more than the 49ers and Saints. It sucks since the Lions are like the underdogs since, they haven't been in the playoffs they haven't even been in the Super Bowl. They've barely won any playoffs games since like this decade. It's basically a comeback story, which is kind of fun. So, I feel like the Lions will win. The Commanders, I already talked about them. They're looking fine, but I just don't think they'll win against the Lions. The Lions will go on to the NFC Championship. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be an upset. But who knows? Other matchup is the Philadelphia Eagles against the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said with both teams, they're looking good. But the Vikings, they lost against the Lions 31-9. The Eagles, I feel bad for Jalen Hurts because he got hurt. And I feel like this will be a really close game as well. But I feel like the Eagles will come on top, and they will advance to the NFC Championship. Talking about the NFC Championship, here are the two teams that are in it. 1-seed Lions against the 2-seed Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, this is going to be a very, 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 very good matchup. Both teams are evenly injured. Just kidding. I was literally joking. Don't take that in the serious note, Lions fans. I am sorry. And, but I feel like these teams are equal. I feel like the Lions have a very stacked offense and the Eagles have a very stacked defense. So, whenever the Lions are on offense and the Eagles are on defense, it's going to be a big matchup. But I'm going with the Lions to go to the Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl appearance. And I'm honestly rooting for them. They're actually one of my favorite teams in the playoffs right now. So, congratulations, Lions. You're going to the Super Bowl. Well, in my opinion. Alrighty, now it's the AFC's turn. So the first matchup that we have right now is the Los Angeles Chargers against the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, we will talk about in just a second. But first, we have to talk about this Chargers team. Yeah. One of 3 teams from the AFC West that are in the playoffs right now. The Broncos just clinched it. But the Chargers, ever since getting that Harbaugh and Herbert in this stacked offense, has looked amazing this year. And I don't really know what else to say except the Chargers are charging right now. And their next victim is the Texans, which the Texans just gave the #1 overall pick to the Titans. The Patriots won this week against the Bills. Funny enough, the Patriots only had the #1 draft pick for a week. Now the Tennessee Titans has it, which, what do you expect? The Titans are awful, and I'm really sorry for saying that, Titans fans. But it's a sad truth. The Houston Texans, though, they have been going up and down. The AFC South is probably the worst division in the NFL this year. The NFC South is the second. I don't know why the South divisions suck, but at least the Texans, who are looking the most promising out of the South teams, but they have a really hard road, and I think, sadly, the Chargers will win against the Texans. So, sorry Texans fans. The Chargers are just charging, and you cannot escape it. Next matchup is the 6-seed Pittsburgh Steelers against the 3-seed Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers, oof, they are losing a lot. They basically just choked the division away. I am sorry, Steelers fans, for saying that. But, I mean, what do you expect? They lost against the Ravens and Bengals, and yeah, it's not looking really good for the Steelers right now. Meanwhile, Ravens, I've been looking really good. They just won against the Browns by a crap ton and have been bulldozing through opponents as well. I feel like the Ravens will get an easy win against the Steelers, and the Ravens will move on. The next matchup is the 7th seed Denver Broncos against the number 2 seed Buffalo Bills. the Denver Broncos. Oh wow, they blew out the backup Chiefs, and yeah, they looking good, I guess. They just basically stole the 7th seed from the Bengals and Dolphins. Dolphins lost, so they had no chance. The Bengals won, but they still got eliminated. I mean, they had a really hard road to get in. The Broncos kind of deserved their spot, but they have a very tough opponent in the Bills. Bills, wowzers. They are really good. Josh Allen looking like an MVP out there. They have probably on paper one of the worst wide receiver cores, but Josh Allen just made them look like one of the best. And what can I say? It's a young, exciting team, and I feel like they can do something in the playoffs. That's why I have them projected to win. Probably one of the blowouts in the playoffs. So yeah, Bills, you're moving on, but you have a really tough matchup against the Ravens. We got the 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs against the 5 seed LA Chargers. Since I projected the Chargers to win against the Texans, here they are. They have to play the Chiefs. The Chiefs, even though they've been getting some lucky wins right now, but recently they've been blowing through opponents. And the Chiefs are probably, sadly enough, probably one of the best teams in the NFL. I am sorry for every Chief fan. You're just getting hated on by literally every single fan that's not a Chiefs fan. I am personally one of them too. I am sorry, Chiefs fans. But now we have to talk about the Chargers. The Chargers. I already talked about them a little bit. They're looking good against with their new head coach and Justin Herbert. Looking really good. Lad McConkey's looking good. Yeah. And I say the Chiefs win, but I mean, what would you expect? It's an AFC Championship match. The Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of these teams, really good teams. I say probably the MVP, Josh Allen, will get a upset win against the Chiefs and will go in the Super Bowl against the Lions. That's what everyone wants, and that's what I think is actually going to happen. So, Bills versus Lions is going to be a really good matchup. The Bills. Wowzers. Yeah, they're looking good, like I already explained. Yeah, and the Lions are also a really good team. They got that defense that's been hurt a lot. Like, they even got a cornerback who got hurt in the game against the Vikings on Week 18. Yeah, it's that injury after injury after injury for the Lions. But it'll be a close matchup, but I have the Lions winning their first ever Super Bowl, but it's going to be very, very close. I think this game will actually go into overtime, but that's my opinion. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell not to miss any NFL or possibly Roblox video, and I will see you later, alligator. Best team in the NFL, the best offensive and defensive player for each team. And every NFL team wins video will be on screen right now, so click it if you want. And I hope you have an amazing day or night or whatever.